Okay, so welcome back, and we are starting with our Discord clone. Let's quickly set up our project, right? So over here we can quickly create a folder, so a new folder, and then I can name that this with a triple S chord. Alright, then I can just drag and drop this here. Okay, right, so now that I have this project all opened up, I can open up the terminal by clicking there, or you can go to view, then terminal. Okay, then it opens up. So now that I have this here, what I can do is I want to initialize my Vite project, right? So what I can do is I'll quickly want to come and say npm create Vite latest, and then I'll just do this so that I create it in the original directory, right? Then I just hit enter, and then this thing loads up. Now what would load up is it would load up, and then it would allow me to select how the packet that I want to use, or the framework that I want to use, and the language that I want to add to it, right? So React, and then I want to use React and TypeScript, so I'll select TypeScript. So over here I just do my npm I. Okay, so npm I should install the dependencies, right? So now that npm I is installing the dependencies, let us go and check out a few things. Now if I go into the browser here, you can see that we will be using Tailwind for styling, and we will be using Shadcn, right? And basically Shadcn is more of a copy and paste type of component library, which you can customize to your own liking, and basically it makes it really flexible for you to come up with really complex and modern designs, but with little stress. Okay, so we're going to be using Shadcn for this project, and it's integrated very nicely and cleanly with Tailwind, right? So I'm quickly going to reduce the size of this. Okay, it looks like it's almost installing. Okay, it should be done in no time. Alright, so now that it's done, I would go into the browser one more time. I'll go here into the browser, and then I will quickly go into the Vite with Tailwind TSS documentation, and then we install Tailwind, right? So over here we've already taken care of this one, creating the project. Now we need to copy these ones, so I'll just copy this, and I'll go back into VS Code here, and then I'll just paste it, right? So I'll paste it with my command V. If you're on Mac, command V, and if you're on Windows, control V, right? So yeah, I think if you're on Ubuntu or Linux, that would be control shift V. So yeah, it's installing. Now as it's installing, it would create a Tailwind config for us. I think it's supposed to create that, but if it doesn't create it, let's go and check. Yes, this is the one that's supposed to create the Tailwind config. I'm going to quickly copy that, come here. Okay, still didn't create it, so okay, I just have to press enter, then it will create it for us. Then inside this Tailwind config, we will do some small changes. I'm quickly going to copy this one nicely and come here, select this line and paste it nicely, right? Then I would go back into Chrome, and I would copy this, and I'll paste it into my index.css. That should be here. Index.css. Okay, so over here we clean all of these ones, select and wrap it out, then we paste it here. Alright, then let's go back to do our checks. Yes, then I think that is all. We can now run our project, but let's quickly clean up our project so that we do not have to deal with a lot of unnecessary designs. So over here inside the app.tsx, let's go to the app.css first. I'll clean this up, go to app.tsx, and then we can basically clean everything up and then start REFC. Now if you're trying to understand why we are using REFC, don't worry, there's an extension called React Native snippets. React Native, I think ES7. Yeah, I've seem to have forgotten. Yeah, but I think I just showed up here. So this one, ES7 plus React Redux React Native snippets here. This one. So as you can see, that is basically what's working for me over here. Okay, so we can just save this and start developing stuff, right? So over here, now that we have this all set up, we can now install our Shadcn, right? So let's quickly go into our browser and go to the Shadcn. What we can quickly do is you can quickly split the screen. So we can put this here and put this there. No, put this there. Okay, this is cool. Now that we have this all here, let us now look. It says create the project. Okay, then what else do we want to do? It says, okay, so tailwind. Okay, that is done, that has been done by us already. Now it says we should copy this line, so I'm going to copy it, and then I'll go to, it said ts config. Okay, so I'll come to the ts config here, and then I'll add it. So I'll come here, come to the next line, I'll just add it, right? Okay, I have to bring my comma. Okay, then I'll just save, and so Control S will save, and then Prettier would format it. Now if you're thinking of how to use Prettier, you just have to come and install the Prettier extension. Install this one, the check marked one. Now that you've been able to install that, you want to go into the settings, and then you go to, so inside the settings you say format. Okay, formats. So you can see for the default formatter, I selected, let me remove this. For the default formatter, I selected Prettier, right? And then I also made sure that I enabled format on paste, but this one is very important. Format on save and this one, they are very important, right? Now that we've been able to set that up, alright, let's move forward. Now it says we should update the ts config, the vit config ts, by copying this command and pasting it here. So just quickly paste that. Okay, that wouldn't work because it's adding this, so I'll quickly just copy this line and then paste it real quick. Then okay, so over here, this is what we are supposed to put inside the vitconfig.ts, right? So I'm going to quickly open this up, and then the vitconfig.ts, I'll just copy this whole thing and paste what we copied here, right? Then we should be good. Okay, then now it says we should run the Shadcn UI CLI, right? So I'm going to click on this. It will tell me to choose whether I'm using yarn or npm, and I'll choose npm obviously. Then right after I'm done doing that, what else do I want to do? I want to quickly paste this and press enter. Okay, so it is configuring things for us. It will ask us a few questions, which is this one, and then we would basically have to just answer through. Okay, so in order for the project to work, you're basically going to have to copy how I'm going to be answering these questions, right? Okay, it looks like it's keeping a little longer, it's taking long. Okay, so it's here. So over here it says, would you like to use TypeScript? Yes. And which style would you like to use? Default. Let's say that I'll choose stone. Then for where my global css file is, it's going to be src, then the index.css, right? Index.css. Then it says, would you like to use variables for colors? Yes. And then this one, would you like to use this one? It says Okay, I'll just skip that. Then it says, where is your tailwind config located? Yes, it's located here, so I just press enter. Then yes, I'll just press enter here, and then this one, so I'll press enter. Okay, since you're not using Next.js and we're using React, we choose no. And then write the configuration for the component. Let me zoom in a bit. It seems a little bit too zoomed in. Let me just zoom out like normal. And then it says write component. Let me raise this. Okay, write configuration to components. Okay, let me just press enter. Yes, so proceed. Okay, now it is basically going to set everything up for us to use, and that should be good, and we can just start doing stuff or styling or adding buttons and other elements, right? So as you can see here, it says it is done adding it. You can see that there are a few things that we've been able to add automatically, which is the components and the lib folder, right? And you can see that we have this component JSON here, and you can see we are using TypeScript, but we are not using server components. And you can see our tailwind config is here, our global CSS is here, our base color is stone, and we are using CSS variables. Okay, that's cool. Now we can come here. Let me quickly expand this so that we see a few things. So over here you can see that we simply have an app here, right? Let's run our project. So npm run dev. So this is npm run dev. It's going to open up this for us. Just hold control and click on it, or command and click on it, then it should open this up. Nothing is on it, but if I write something, it should show up. If your page is not automatically refreshing like this, you need to enable autosave, and that should work. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the app, or you can basically add a text. No, and basically add a text or a paragraph that says what? Discord. Alright, so over here we can add our class name and say text indigo 500. Text indigo 500. Alright, that is cool. We can add what? We can even increase the size. Let me quickly do an H1. That one looks much better for a title or something similar to that. Then we can increase the size if you want to. You can say text XL, and then we can say font bold, right? And as you can see, these styles work with our class names and our tailwind and everything. Now we need to understand how to use Shadcn and see how simple it is to use, like how I explained it from the beginning. So we want to add a simple button here. So what I can do is, you see, as I open this button, you can see how we work with them. Also we chose default. We didn't choose New York, so there's no need looking at it, right? Now over here, what we have to first of all do is copy this. So npx Shadcn UI latest add button, and then we would install that. Okay, so I'll just paste that, and then it should add the button. Then we can basically import the button and use it anywhere we want to use it, right? So let it add the button. Needs to add the button. Then it will show up inside our components folder, and then we can now use the button wherever we want to use it. Now as you can see, it has shown up over here, right? Okay, so it's done installing. How do we use it? Now you can see, let me bring this down so that you can see the project, right? So over here, let me close this. So over here you can see that we are working with a bunch of things here, right? Inline flex and everything, variants, default variants and everything. And you can actually mess around with these things, right? Can add variants and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come inside here, and in order for us to understand how easy it is to work with it, I'm just going to import this button, right? I just imported it, and I close it up, and I can say button here, or click here. I can say click here, right? Then we can look at it. You can see it here, click here, right? Alright, so now that we can see this button here, we can style it. We can actually style the button. Now there are two ways we can style the button. We can use class names to style the button. So I can basically change the button's background color to BG red 600, right? And you can see, right, I just changed it to BG red. I can even change it to BG green. I can increase the text font size inside, like the text size inside, right? Basically you can play around with it. And then if I do not want to do any of that, or if let's say I want to use the same stylings for like at different places, I think I can make like a variant. It helps create this dynamic something. So I'm going to come here, and you can see that the variants are here. Now if I use them here, so I'm going to quickly say variant, and then I can say, I can clear these things and just use the variants like that. So I can say ghosts, and you can see if we hover over it, you can see the ghost property. Which other variant do we have? We have secondary. Okay, we can have default, secondary, and stuff. So if I change this and I make it default, you see it changes. If I say secondary, alright, now you can see the changes that we've seen here, right? Alright, so that's cool. Now we can even add our own variants by saying something like test var. Then I would say something like text excel font extra bold and BG red 600, right? Then we can use that variant here. So I can say what, test var. Now you can see that the changes have been applied, right? Now that we understand how all of these things work in general, I feel like we are ready enough to dive into the real project. So let's not waste too much time. Let's just get right into it.